If we want to intercept the transition away from a specific route in React Router, we can use something called route leave hook. So to illustrate this, we've got a very simple application here, just two components that each contain this links component, and then we've got a path for each of those. So we've got our home and we've got about. So what we're going to do is say that we want to keep track or do something, respond somehow to somebody leaving the home route. So to do this, we're going to end up using context. If you're not familiar with context in React, I would direct you to Egghead.io. We certainly have at least one or more videos on it. But what I'm going to do is create a full component here since we are going to be using context. In our render method, we're simply going to return exactly what we were returning in our stateless version. So return that exact same content. Now here in our component will mount phase, we're going to go ahead and call this context dot router, and we're going to say set route leave hook. That's going to take two arguments. The first one is going to be this props route, and the second one is going to be this dot route will leave, and that's actually just going to be a method that we're going to create. So you can call that whatever you want. So here's our route will leave method. Now this actually takes in next location, which is identical to our props that we can get from the router called location, except it represents our next location. Now at this point we can do whatever we want to do. So I'm just going to log out leaving home for, we'll make this a literal string or a template literal. And we'll say next location dot path name. And now what we need to do outside of that is go ahead and add in our context types. So context types equals, this is going to be an object. We're going to say it requires the router, and the React prop type for that is going to be object, and we're going to go ahead and say that is required. Now you can't use context if you don't have context types. So that's why we need to add this in there. So if you think about prop types in a React component, this is very similar, except you can't use context without the context type. So context types is like prop types for context. So we're going to go ahead and save that, and we're on the home route, and when we nav away, whoops, something that's not a function. You know what, this was router. Try that one more time. So we're on the home route, and when we go to about, we can see that we have logged out leaving home for about, which is the new path name. So here we can do whatever it is we might want to do. But one interesting thing is we can just return that string, and we'll automatically get a confirmation. So let's go back to home, and we'll go to about, and now we've got this confirmation. If we say okay, it'll go. If we say cancel, it won't go.